Mr. 845 social media and events.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. 845 here, and we're here with another small business. Check this out. This is Karen. She's going to tell us a little bit about her business. So Karen, tell us who you are and what do you do?
Okay, well, hello. Thanks for having me. Yeah, my name is Karen Harding. Basically, I'm a senior advocate. I help senior citizens with their health insurance, and I specialize in Medicare, supplement, and Advantage plans. I give trainings to help people learn how to get enrolled in Medicare to begin with, and I teach them about their options for health insurance that go along with Medicare, and help them get enrolled and help them utilize their benefits.
All right, awesome. So first and foremost, before everything, I always ask all the people that come onto my podcast or video, whatever you want to call this, right? I always ask the best ways to contact you. First and foremost, what are the best ways?
The easiest thing to do is probably go to my website, medicarekaren.com. And right from there, you can fill out a form and, send me an email or you can get a link to my phone number, which is 845-419-1984. And you can always just give me a call.
All right.
Otherwise, you can reach me on Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever you are.
All right, cool. So when it comes to insurance, not a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's so great to talk about insurance, but it's something that we kind of need in life, right? So especially if we're getting to that age that we're going to be retiring and we're going to be getting into our benefits that we've been waiting for our whole life. So tell us, like, what is the process? Like, if I'm either, what age group would they usually start in, and then to have discussions with you, and then kind of like take me through the process a little bit.
Okay, so in general, people are eligible for Medicare when they turn 65, or if they have been on disability for 2 years. So once you turn 65, if you're still working, you don't necessarily have to take Medicare. If you have insurance through your job, you can continue with that. But there are different parts of Medicare which become a little confusing. There's Part A and B, C and D, and sometimes you want to have Part A, sometimes you don't. And there are a number of different factors that you have to consider when you decide, are you going to apply for Medicare, or are you going to wait because you're working? If you don't have health insurance through your job and you're paying for it through the marketplace, that can be very costly. So a lot of times, if that's the case, people do want to sign up as soon as they turn 65. And a good time to get in touch with me is about 6 months before your 65th birthday. We can meet and I can talk to you about, what are the things you're going to need to think about, because you can enroll in Medicare 3 months before your birthday month.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and
so
that's
that's a
some good
good time to get the
information.
ball rolling.
Yeah, that's some
Yeah.
good information, because some people would be like, I'm just gonna wait till 65, and then they're 3 months out of, let's say it's government, so it happens. Let's say that it takes them 3 months. Now you're 65 without insurance, and you never know. At that age, you could have an ailment or two, depending on what you did in life as work. I know in like the power plant industry, cancer runs rampant, especially with workers around that age of retirement. So it's something that it's going to be priority for you. So making sure that you have that type of insurance is going to be very important. So that's some really good advice. So kind of going into these different plans, I don't know if you really want to bore people with the actual setup, because I know that it's always different per option, but is that something that they would kind of schedule a consultation with you to kind of talk, okay, these are my plan options, and or talk to you about their circumstances, so that way you can kind of best fit and customize them to what they need?
Right. Well, either they could schedule an appointment with me so that I could give them basically a Medicare 101 seminar. I can do that one-on-one. I give them at my local library, and I'm happy to go other places to offer them. There's no charge. There's no charge for my services. I get paid a commission by the insurance companies when I do enrollments. So
Oh,
when I'm working one-on-one with people, they don't pay me anymore. And it doesn't matter to me what plan or what type of plan they go in, because I make the same commission regardless.
wow, that's
So
awesome.
my goal is to help people find the kind of coverage they need so that they're happy, and then they stick with me, and then going forward, continue to make a commission as long as they stick with me and they're happy.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, they get in touch with me. We could do a phone call, we could do a Zoom. I do house calls within reason. Pretty much anywhere in the Hudson Valley I can travel, and Some people are comfortable just talking over the phone. If they're more computer savvy, then the Zoom meeting's very easy, and then I can share documents on the screen with them, and show them exactly what's what. And many people do their research, a little research on their own before they call me, but other ones just call me and they say, listen, my head is spinning, I keep getting all this mail. Sometimes they'll come to me with, a stack of mail this high of, all these sales things, and it's difficult to tell what's a sales letter and what's, legit from the government
Mhm.
sometimes. So, just weeding through all that can be very confusing. So, I call myself the translator. Basically, I try to help people just understand what are all these documents and letters telling them, what are their options, and what's best for you might not be what's best for your wife, your
Mhm.
neighbor, or your brother.
Yeah.
But many people get this information from somebody who's not an expert, and then they say, oh, my brother has this plan, that's what I want.
Okay.
When, generally that's not what they need.
Yeah. I mean, eh, so you're gonna go through like what would be best customized for them. I mean, that's something that even me picking my own insurance right now, going to work, I hate doing because it's just like, I'm just gonna go with the same one that I've had last year, and you might not necessarily have the right benefit package for what you need, right? And some people don't understand what's covered by Medicare and then what's not. Do you also help them out with things that might not necessarily fall under Medicare and how they could possibly get insured that way too, or is it strictly Medicare?
Yes, I help people with what we call ancillary plans like dental, vision, hearing plans, things like that, because original Medicare doesn't cover those things. There are some Medicare Advantage plans that do. So
Mhm.
when people are trying to decide what kind of supplementary insurance they want to fill in the gaps in the original Medicare, those are the things we discuss. Do you need dental insurance? Do you know you're going to need a lot of dental care? And, do you need eyeglass insurance or hearing aids? So those are all things that contribute to the cost.
Okay.
And also many people think that Medicare is free and it's not. There's a monthly premium for the Part B of Medicare. So,
Really? Okay.
and that's based on your income. Yeah, you have payroll deductions that pay for the Part A. So if you have been working in this country with payroll deductions for 10 years, Part A is at no cost to you. But if you, but the Part B, there is a monthly premium and it starts at 174.90 a month this year. So you do want to make sure that, you're prepared for that. And it goes up from there. If your income's higher, it could be as high as over $560 a month.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so
I mean,
people
that's
need to be
yeah,
prepared and plan for that.
yeah, that's good to know. I mean, so when it comes to like income brackets, you would kind of go over that with them too. Like, hey, you make, and this is going off of their salary that they retired with, right? Not where they're
There's
currently
a
working,
2-year
or
look back.
okay,
So yeah, so in 2024, they're looking at your gross adjusted income from 2022.
okay,
So that's something that, financial planners, generally will discuss with people, and I'm happy to work with financial planners as well and help them educate their clients. Because that could be easily close to, $1,000 a month if you're a married couple, because those fees are individual.
hmm,
There's no family plans with Medicare. So you
wow,
each have your Part B premium, and then if you choose to go with Medicare supplement, it could be a couple $100 on top of that. And then prescription drug plans and dental insurance, all those things can add up.
yeah. I mean, on average, if somebody didn't work with you, have you seen like let's say they started without you and they're paying a certain amount, have you seen on average like how much they cost without working with you and then with, like, have you seen that difference?
Yeah, well, sometimes people just don't understand how it all works. And then if you don't enroll in Medicare when you're first eligible and you don't have what they call creditable coverage, also you could get hit with penalties. So the government penalizes you for not having this insurance, and then later on you're responsible for that going forward. So
Hmm.
that's one way that, I can definitely help educate them on that. And the fees are set by the insurance companies. So sometimes they'll go with a Medicare supplement plan where there's different letters of the plans, and that can get very confusing, so I won't go into it, but they have to offer exactly the same coverage, whether it's one company or another. So
Hmm.
if you're in a Medicare supplement plan G with company A, they could charge you $300 a month. company B might charge you $200 a month. So if you don't shop around and find out how much, what's available, then you may be paying more than you need to, but not realize it because maybe before you had been paying $800 a month for your insurance. So 300 sounds good, but then maybe you could have gotten it for 200.
Mhm.
So yeah, just finding out what your options are and knowing what you can do definitely helps.
Yeah. The Medicare insurance whisperer I hear. This is what I'm sensing.
Yeah.
So now a lot of times when I talk to people, one of the biggest things I always ask is this something that you kind of was like, I want to do this for the rest of my life? Or is this something that you kind of like, you were doing a job and you kind of fell into it? Like, what brought you into the Medicare insurance world?
Right. I don't think there's anybody that grows up saying, I want to be an insurance agent. That sounds so exciting and glamorous. But yeah, I kind of fell into it because I was a dental hygienist for a long time.
Okay.
And I wanted to move out of that career. So I did a number of other things. I worked as a skydiving instructor.
Yeah.
I got a teaching degree. I just did a number of other things, but never really found the thing that I could make a living at that worked out. So while I was looking for dental sales jobs, like selling dental products and things like that, I saw that there were a lot of insurance sales jobs. And it was pretty easy to get my insurance license. You can study online and, you pay a fee, a couple $100, you have your license, and then you can start working right away. So that's what I did. And I started off as an independent broker, working under contracting with different companies and gradually, moved away from that other career. So I built my business, while I was still a hygienist full time. And then I went down to part time and now I just do this full time. And I
Uh,
really like helping seniors. When I was a hygienist, I worked with a lot of senior citizens because I worked for specialty dentists who, they took care of the problems that older people have. So, I just like them, like any other age group, there's some people that you really bond with and, you know, I, I was close with my grandmother. So, I kind of try to take care of these people as if it was my grandma or my aunt, and now I'm heading towards that age too. So a lot of the people that I'm helping turning 65, I'm only a couple years younger than them. So that's actually the 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 demographic I like working with the best because generally my friends they're 65, but they're still healthy. They're still, hiking, they're skydiving, they're riding their bike 100 miles and
skydiving.
and
Oh,
they want, they want to continue that lifestyle and stay
yeah.
healthy and
You want to help
that's
people
great.
enjoy
But
the rest of their life. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
that's
But
awesome.
also I can help their mom, maybe their 90-year-old mom needed a plan too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, that's awesome. I mean, it
Mhm.
really brings it back to say, like, the government is always a tangly type of web, if you will, of different things and stuff like that. And you're really translating, as you said, to help people take advantage of the system that they basically worked their whole life to get into, right? So, I mean, I applaud you on that. That's, it's something that, I mean, I didn't know you existed until this meeting. So it's great for me because I have parents that are getting to that age. They're still young. They started early. But, when they have and they need that insurance and they will because I mean everybody, like I said in the beginning, everybody needs it, because you never know when cancer might show up or if you need medications that are vital for you to survive. There's some things that may not get covered and some stuff that would. In talking about that stuff and trying to see like what could be covered, is there a specific guideline as to what's initially covered? Like, for instance, like something like diabetes, if you will, or cardiovascular health or medication associated with that. Are these things that are like outlined in each plan to say these are the medications we cover or these are the specific procedures we cover? And then kind of like you could kind of help them weed through it and stuff?
Right. Well, original Medicare has two parts, Part A and Part B that you get through the government. Part A is your hospital, and the Part B is your doctor outpatient, just to to simplify it a lot, you do have to get a prescription drug plan through a private company.
Wow.
So
Okay.
all of those private companies cover, they all have a formulary, which is a list of the drugs they cover, and they do have to cover a couple of drugs in each category. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to cover the ones that you take that your doctor wants you to take.
Hmm.
So when I get people that need to choose a plan, I get a list of their medications, and then I find out which companies cover the drugs on their formulary, which ones cover them at the lowest cost. And if they decide to go with a Medicare Advantage plan, there's a network of doctors, so I can search all of the plans to figure out which plans their doctors participate with. So it's very individualized.
Yeah, I mean, but it's kind of important. I mean, you don't want to have like if let's say you're taking Lipitor and you can't take Crestor as your high cholesterol medication because of you're having side effects. If you go with the wrong insurance, you can't even you have to pay out of pocket. In some cases, I don't know if everybody's seen like the medical scene, but like even like EpiPens have gone up astronomically in recent years because of different political stuff out there that has caused that stuff. And it sucks because some of these medications are very life-threatening and or I should say the opposite, helping life-threatening conditions to keep people going healthily, right? So like they're basically like EpiPens. I mean, if you eat peanut butter by accident and you have anaphylactic shock, or if there's something else that you're allergic to, like a bee sting, and you have to pay out of pocket for EpiPens, most likely you're not going to buy that stuff. So being able to work with
Right.
you and be able to get the right formula, if you will, is something that's going to be vital for their survival after 65, or even before that, just so that they can kind of see,
Mhm.
okay, I got to pace myself because you said there's a 2-year look back. I'm 63. What do I have to start planning for to get to 65 correctly, right? So those are
Right, right.
some great things that you're bringing up, and if people are out there and they're listening, it's important. The 80s generation and the 70s generations are getting up there in age, right?
Mhm,
These
mhm.
not millennials, they're Gen Zs are taking
Gen
over.
Xers.
Yeah, the Gen Xers and the
Yeah.
Xennials and the millennials are all
Yeah.
this age group that's going into this now. So it's kind of important for us to kind of see all this stuff so that way we could prepare. And as laws change, I know that they've been discussing of raising the amount of age to accept Medicare. Do you work with them in knowing what's happening for them as well? So like if there are changes in some of this policy that you would actually be able to say, well, this is what happened recently, so this is what's getting this type of implementation and stuff like that? Or is it kind of like they have to kind of like, I know that you already are going to probably correct me, but they got to kind of like look that up and stuff like that.
Yeah, most people don't stay on top of things that are going on in the insurance industry, and I do. I'm very involved in a lot of groups that are watching things that are happening. In the last year, they passed the Inflation Reduction Act, actually beginning of last year. So that made some changes in the way that they were covering insulin and some vaccines. So they finally put a cap of $35 a month on the cost of insulin,
Uh-huh.
which really made a big difference for a lot of people that are on Medicare, where it used to be they wouldn't get their insulin filled because they just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So that was a big change. They have also put a cap on the maximum out-of-pocket amount that people have to spend on prescription drugs, but it's still $8,000, which is a lot of money.
Especially
Next
on
year,
a
it's
fixed
gonna go
income.
down to
Yeah.
2,000. So yeah, that'll be a big help. Some vaccines used to not be covered that are now. So yeah, I do stay on top of those things. And one of the things that I help my clients with is that I review their current plan with them in the fall, and we look at what are the changes going to be in that plan for next year. What are the changes in their healthcare needs? Is that plan still going to be the best one for them, or is now a good time to make a change? So, I help them get enrolled to begin with, but then I also help them going forward. I help them find out what are the benefits of their plan. Some of them have like, fitness benefits or over the counter spending cards that they can use. So things like that, I help them utilize those benefits and make the most of what they have.
Wow.
Also,
When I get
another
up there,
thing
I
that
gotta
I
talk to
do.
you, man. Let me tell you, when I get up
Yeah,
there, I mean, I'm only 20 years from that, or
right,
24
right.
years from that, but it's never too early to start thinking about retirement. Just saying, everybody,
That's right.
never too early.
That's right. There's that light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, this is like some really good information. So if they wanted more information on all the things that you offer and kind of like to booking and advice, again, it's to go to your website, MedicareKaren.com.
Mm-hmm,
All
mm-hmm.
right, so that's
Yeah.
MedicareKaren.com. That's MEDICREKAREN.com. And she also has all her information on there, or you can find her on social. She goes under Karen Harding Insurance. If you find her on Facebook. Any other links that I might have missed?
I think you misspelled Medicare, MEDICARE,
Did,
Medicare, Karen.com.
did I?
Karen with the gang.
My bad.
Yeah, I think most people could spell it, but yeah, yeah, you were close. So yeah, if you just Google, and then I'm
Needed
local.
glasses.
I'm here in the Hudson Valley,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I'm happy to help. Even if you just have questions, but and you're not there yet, you want to know what do you need to do later. I'm happy to help.
All right, awesome. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So everybody, just so you know, this is Karen. If you guys could do me a huge favor, any of the businesses that I record these interviews with, make sure that you like and follow their pages, especially on all their social media links. It just basically gives them a little bit of a boost up in the algorithm and helps them find more people to utilize their services and businesses. We're doing these interviews every Wednesday at 12 p.m. They'll be releasing every week up until I run out of interviews. So if I get 52 interviews this year, great. If I get over that, then we'll go for a couple years on this, right? So the more businesses that are out there, it's important and vital that you utilize their services. As you can see, some of them are actually free to you, and they make their money a different way, and they still help you. Just like Karen. And that's the big thing here, is to be able to find these businesses and be able to utilize their services where they're available to you, especially when you need it. That being said, everybody, with everything that's going on, please, if you could support all the stuff that we're doing, check out these videos, make sure that you share them. It just helps spread the word about these different businesses. And that being said, everybody, this is Mr. 845. Karen, thank you very much for allowing me to interview you. I appreciate all the time that you spent with us today and educating me on the world of Medicare. And even my spelling is way off. I'm probably going to need prescriptions, just saying. But
Thanks so much for having me.
yeah. But that being said, everybody, you never know. I can find out your new favorite. Check us out every Wednesday at 12 noon for all the different videos of small businesses that we've recorded on either Facebook or on YouTube. If you go to Facebook, you just look up Ramon Pinheiro, the verified one, and or you could just look up Mr. 845 Social, and you could kind of find me there as well. Or if you go to YouTube, you could look us up under CE Avengers, which is our original IT company that started this whole shebang. That being said, everybody, have a good day.